Okay, to work out the cost of the kit and the travel, we could use the dots. We know that, for instance, there are 11 dots representing kit and travel. Each dot's worth $26. I could multiply 11 by 26. We also know the cost of membership is $78 and the cost of joining is $364. So a simpler method would be to take the 364 minus the 78, and that would give us the rest, the kit and the travel. So 364 minus 78 gives us $286. Camilla's father pays 10/13 of the 364. Calculate how much that Camilla pays if she pays the rest. Well, if Camilla's father pays 10/13, we can work out what that is. 10/13 of 364 is 10/13 times 364. Of always means times in maths. So 364 times 10/13 is coming out as $280. Camilla pays the rest, so 364 minus the 280 that her father pays is now going to get us the rest. And that's $84. Martha makes hats, and each week she makes 160 hats. How many does she make in 5 weeks? Well, 160 times 5, that's 800 hats that she makes in 5 weeks. The hats are made in the ratio small to medium to large as 2 to 5 to 3. So once again I'm going to start off with dots. Small, medium, and large. Now altogether these dots represent 160 hats that she makes in a week. So altogether there are 10 dots. 10 dots represents 160 hats. So 1 dot is equal to 16 hats. 3 dots represent the large hats, so that's going to be 16 times 3, which is 48. She sells 3/8 of these 160 hats, and I want to know how many that is. Remember, of means times. Of means times, so 3/8 times 160. And that's going to get me 60 hats that she sells. The diameter of the Earth is 12,756 kilometers, and I want to write that in meters. 1 kilometer is the same thing as 1,000 meters. So I want to get away from my kilometers. So I'm going to divide by 1. And I'm going to get into my meters, so I times by 1,000. Remember, divide by the kilometers number to go out of kilometers, and times by the meters number to go into meters. 12,756,000 meters. Now we've got a bit of standard form. The diameter of a grain of salt is 1 times 10 to the minus 4 meters, and I want to write this as an ordinary number. So 1 times 10 to the minus 4 is, well, let's just do 0.00001, and timesing by 10 to the minus 4 would move it past 1, 2, 3, 4 of these digits, which gives me 0.0001 as an ordinary number. Now I want to write my meters in millimeters. So 1,000 millimeters is equal to 1 meter. Remember, milli means 1,000th. So I'm starting off in my meters. I want to get out of meters, so I divide by the meters number, and into millimeters, so I times by the millimeters number. So we do 0.0001 divided by 1 times 1,000. And that gets me 0.1 millimeters. Simone makes a fruitcake. The recipe needs 175 grams of sugar, 200 grams of butter, and 225 grams of flour. And I want to write the ratio sugar to butter to flour in its simplest form. So 175 to 200 to 225 in its simplest form. Now all we're doing here is looking for things that cancel down. So for instance, all these numbers obviously divide by 5. So if I do 175 divided by 5, I get 35. If I do 200 divided by 5, I get 40. And 225 divided by 5 gets me 45. These numbers still divide nicely by 5, getting 7, 8, and 9. And that's where we stop. That's the ratio in its simplest form. The recipe also needs 600 grams of fruit in the ratio sultanas, currants, and raisins, 4 to 3 to 1. And I want to work out the mass of each type of fruit. 4 dots to represent the 4 dots of sultanas, 3 representing currants and 1 representing raisins. That's 8 dots altogether, and 8 of those dots represent 600 grams of fruit. So 1 dot represents 600 divided by 8, 75 grams. So as far as the raisins are concerned, it's 75 grams. As far as the currants are concerned, that's 3 dots, 3 75s, which is 225 grams. And then for the sultanas, that's 4 times 75, and that is 300 grams. So those are our answers. Leo changed $1,400 into pounds using this exchange rate, and I want to know how many pounds he received. Well, I need to get out of my dollars, so I'm going to divide by the dollars number, 1.54. I want to get into my pounds, so I'm going to times by the pounds number, which is 1. 1,400 divided by 1.54 times 1 is giving me 909.09 recurring, which means 0.090909. I want 2 decimal places, so it's going to be 909 pounds and 9p. Remember, currencies are always given to 2 decimal places. Alvin changes some money from dollars to euros. When he changes $100, he receives 60 euros. I want to do this on the conversion graph. Now, let's find $100 and 60 euros. So I'm going up from $100 and across from 60 euros, and we're finding this point over here. There's $100 turning into 60 euros. Now clearly, no dollars is worth no euros. So that's another point over there that we get. And I can now draw a line using a ruler, if I were you, obviously, that goes through these points. Now I want to use my graph to change $140 to euros. So I would go up from 140 over here and across to my euros over here, which is going to be a lot more accurate if you've drawn a straight line. Pay close attention to your scale. There are only 5 squares between the 80 and 100, so each square can't be worth 1 or 2. It must be worth 4. 80, let's just check that. 84, 86, so 82, 84, 86, 88, 84, 88, 92, 96, 100. So each square must be worth 4. So this will come out as 84 euros. 20 euros to dollars. So now I would go across from my dollars and down to my euros. Once again, I've got to pay close attention to my scale. These 20 units are split into 5 squares, so each square must be worth 4. 24, 28, 32 over there. A watch costs $80 and $1 is worth 124.3 Japanese yen. And I want to work out the cost of the watch in yen. So I want to get away from my $80 by dividing by the dollar number and into my yen by timesing by the yen number. So 80 divided by 1 times 124.3 is going to get me my answer, 9944 Japanese yen. Elena and Maria are waitresses in the cafe. One day they receive $96 for service and tips. They share this in the ratio Elena to Maria is 3 to 1. I want to work out how much Elena receives. So 3 dots represent Elena's share and 1 dot represents Maria's share. Those 4 dots in total are worth $96. 1 dot is worth 96 divided by 4, which is $24. Elena gets 3 of these, 24 times 3. And that's going to get us $72 for Elena. And that's the end of these questions.